We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sports Jazz, we are back. Josh and Isaac. Manchester United dominating the news. Erik Ten Hag dominating the news. Man United fans crying and mourning, spilling their feelings in the air. Well, gentlemen, we are here to talk, dissect, discuss, analyze everything as far as the topic today is concerned. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Isaac. I have Josh with me in the building. Sports Jazz, subscribe, share, like the videos, guys. Turn on the notifications. Let's see it, Josh. Yo, Josh, what up? What up? I see today we had a meeting. The board had a meeting. It last. How long did it last for? It lasted for almost 6 hours, but it seems nothing really came out. There's nothing constructive. I don't know whether INEOS has just decided to keep quiet, don't tell us whatever is about to come out. We don't know whether an announcement is imminent, but I know if it clocks Sunday this week and there's nothing about firing Erik Ten Hag, then the man is back in the building and he's there. Thank you so much once again, Sports Jazz. Yeah, Sunday.
That's too far for a meeting that happened today.
Yeah, it's what I'm trying to say. I mean, if it goes, if it stretches to Sunday, I don't think anything good is coming. But when I say
but
anything
it's
good,
a beautiful day.
I don't think
It's a
Ten Hag is
beautiful
going to be
day.
fired.
I think everything good has happened today, and the naysayers might feel a bit indifferent about the outcome because they created an agenda which was never an agenda of today's meeting, and they hoped that their agenda would be the main subject of the meeting. But I, for one, I would like to believe that INEOS just had a regular meeting like they would have every month, and because maybe they were all available during the international break and they were off football per se, so they could come and have this meeting. So they did have this meeting, and for me, I know that much as it was a performance review, it might not have been a performance review in the essence of what the media was assuming it would be, that the performance review would be for Erik Ten Hag. I believe the performance review was for INEOS as a management company of a new team. They've been here for, say, about 6 weeks, 6 weeks or so. So I mean, they are reviewing how they've performed, and yes, how they have performed includes hiring and backing the manager Erik Ten Hag. So they could have had a word or two about that very incident, but I don't think it was ever the topic to be discussed. I think there were more other the vital things like how they prepare themselves going forward, and where they see the club and what they have done for the club. So for me, the meeting, much as we have not yet learned anything that has come from it, I think it was a meeting majorly for INEOS and not Ten Hag.
As you said, I think they discussed the performance review, and I know at some point they did talk about Erik Ten Hag. I'm also thinking it could be INEOS doesn't want to really push so much about Erik Ten Hag or in regards to Erik Ten Hag, because he's their man. Why I say he's their man, they backed him. Remember, during the transfer window, they tried to search for someone, but there was no replacement. Gave him an option, in other extended his contract until 2026. So you see that the fact that they kept him, backed him in the transfer window, it would be a bit silly for them to fire him right now. I mean, they had said if he loses, was it 3 losses? That was the game against Spurs. Then there was FC Porto and the game against Villa. But out of the 3 matches, or out of the 9 matches, 9 points, he only managed to get 2 points, unfortunately. And of course, with a loss for Spurs. So maybe him having not lost the 2 matches against Villa and Porto, maybe that's why they're keeping him. I mean, I can't really tell.
No,
Sinan, I see
Isaac.
you.
Isaac,
Yeah,
for me, yeah, hey Sinan, hey Sinan. Isaac, for me, I do think that it was never about the assumption that the media made of
yeah.
decisions will be made by INEOS on a
By the way, the media
game-to-game
pushed it
basis,
so much.
because it
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. Yeah, it would not make sense for INEOS to make decisions on a game-to-game basis, because then at the end of the day, they will just look like Ed Woodward or Richard Arnold or the people who were at United before. I mean, they must have a better plan going forward. They must have short-term and long-term goals. They cannot. They cannot. They should fight. They should fight as much as possible to not be swayed by the media, and the media makes decisions for them. I know the media is very persuasive, especially in football. I mean, they can push you until it gets to the players and it gets to the nerves of the manager. Jose Mourinho said in an interview that one of the things that pushed him out of the club or contributed to him leaving the club was how the media treated him. And he fought the media for a while, and things were not well, and he had to
But
leave at some point. But for me, I don't think that that whole if you lose Spurs, Porto, and Aston Villa was from Ineos. That was probably the same guy of the Guardian who wrote the article that Ten Hag would be fired whether he wins the FA Cup or not.
and by the way, some are arguing that if there was any right moment for him to be fired, that should have been right after the FA Cup. The same way they did, the same thing they did to Louis van Gaal. If you remember, he had just won the FA Cup. Before the celebrations are all done, he got notified that he was supposed to be sacked as the manager. But well, Rastabox says also in the comment section, hi Rastabox, shout outs to you. He says he survived another date. Let's see what happens with the rest of the season. Because I tell you now, we are not finishing in top four. I agree with you. We are not finishing top four. Thank you, Sinan. Yeah, brother. Subscribe, subscribe. There's no way Man United is finishing in the top four. The performances are so awful, man. I mean, just it's the same thing we're talking about yesterday. Seven
I do
Premier
think
League
actually
games and you
Rasta
have
Stokes.
only
I do
eight
think that
points. Come on,
now that the manager is in
quite
this
embarrassing.
position, the fact that he has shown this much resilience.
Mm. Josh, you were saying the manager is in the position?
Yeah, the fact that he has showed this much resilience, it is a good thing, and I think that
Yeah.
now that the board backs him, and this is swept under the rug, then maybe we can move on, and he can actually galvanize his team to give him top four. I do think that we were always going to finish in the top four, because we do have the squad, we do have the right man for the job, and it is just a matter of time that these
Josh, why do you
players,
call why do you say Ten Hag is the right man for the job? That puzzles me.
because he brings stability to the side. He brings
What
stability.
stability, Josh, is he bringing?
Eric Ten Hag has managed Man United in a very in a period of turmoil. As there's so much that has been going on at Manchester United for you not to give him a more rope to work with. But I think Ineos will give him much more rope, and he'll pull himself up, and United will finish in very decent positions.
Hi, Nelson. Nelson, thank you, Nelson. Yeah, Russellback says we shall be finishing eighth
Thank you,
again.
Nelson.
Well, Rusterbacks, that would be a miracle. As things look, or rather as things stand, that is going to be a miracle if Manchester United finishes eighth. I'm telling you, because you see, we're seated right in the 14th position. It's very ashaming. Uh, I mean, you even lose morale to support the team. And Josh, walk me. You tried explaining it yesterday, but it wasn't so. It wasn't so
Convincing.
detailed. Yeah, I mean, try convincing me and everyone that is watching. Why do you think Ineos are sticking with Erik Ten Hag after everything that has happened? You see, They only have one goal at Old Trafford. They have one win at Old Trafford in all those games. It's no longer a fortress that it used to be. Teams come around, bully Man United. You see what happened with Spurs. I mean, they beat you 3 goals to nil, no response at all. You go to Portugal, play FC Porto, you're 2-0 up. Next thing you know, it's a 3-3. And again, the equalizer is scored in the dying minutes of the game. Why do you think, after everything that is happening, INEOS is still sticking with Erik Ten Hag?
Well, in my opinion, I do think that INEOS is a sports management company, and for the work that they do, they are very detailed about how they go about their business. And the decision to keep Erik Ten Hag is the best decision that they can make in in the interim, because if you do fire Erik Ten Hag right now and you hire a caretaker manager, it sort of gives you away that you have written off your first season at Manchester United, because then you will be giving yourself a lot of excuses for why you did not finish where you finished. But if in your opinion, if you do keep the manager, you stick with him, you back him, and you hope that the backing is enough for him to galvanize his side and change a few things, and maybe give you better results. And that is what INEOS, I think, will do. And Erik Ten Hag will, in one way or another, find a way to give Man United better results. Because for INEOS, it works for them that if you do keep Erik Ten Hag to the end of the season, because remember, their long-term project is much bigger than the short-term project. If you remember Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when he talked about the type of signings at Man United, he said that Man United is not going to sign players like Kylian Mbappe. He's going to sign. They will reach a point that United signs Kylian Mbappe, but we are not there now. And it is true, we are not there. You can look at the first summer that INEOS has done. It has signed mostly promise and potential. And you can say that the manager is being hung out to dry, because these are the players who are potential and promise, who are given to him, and then you expect him to make them in a fortnight play as good as the Kylian Mbappes or the Vinicius Juniors of this world. It is just not going to happen in a day. It's going to take some time, but I'm glad that INEOS is patient, and INEOS has the vision to see that. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I see Rasta Stock saying stability on making the same mistakes over and over, rather over again. I'm not making the right substitution, and favoritism. That guy doesn't have a clue. Then he goes on to say, not box. Nelson says, I don't believe Ten Hag was given out an ultimate, or rather any ultimatum. I don't think he was given either. By the way, he's away also on holiday. Maybe he will come back at the end of this week. And Rasta goes on to say, I hope and back him under this manager. Hope and back him under this manager. Our European record is horrible. It sucks. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, but Rasta
Sucks,
Stokes, Rasta
Josh.
Stokes, you must remember, Rasta Stokes, you must remember the things that we did in Europe, or the things that happened to Manchester United last season. We cannot easily write them off. We cannot say that the situation at United did not happen, because it did happen, and we suffered because of the situation we were in. So much of the results that you speak of, all these results were accumulated during that period, and it was a trial period. So the fact that we got out of it, for me, I look at Manchester United now under INEOS and Erik Ten Hag as the man they've chosen to do the job that they want him to do, which is to take Manchester United back to the heights that it was. and I don't really look at what happened last season. I cannot say that it was good. I cannot rewrite the history and say that it did not happen. It did happen, but going forward, for me to heal and for me to understand where Manchester United is at, it is much better for me to accept the fact that INEOS is here now, and things are a bit different.
Yeah, but Josh, on this very point, I stand with, or in other words, I stand in Rasterback's corner. The manager has been fully backed, as we said yesterday, in every department. Young players have been signed. I'm starting now to question players like Rasmus and Joshua Zaxi. I mean, they're good players, they're fantastic players, but they are not, as I said yesterday, these are not players that are going to give you 25 or rather 20 to 25 goals in the EPL. Only in the EPL, that is not going to happen. I understand last season overall, Rasmus had 16 goals all around all competitions, you know. And this brings me to my question, Josh. Do you know that Manchester United doesn't have a world-class player right now? Maybe one could argue Bruno Fernandes, but this season has been
Andre
poor.
Onana.
No, he's not world-class,
Andre
unfortunately.
Onana, yeah, but
He's not world-class.
world class is a bit of overstretching the term, because for me, world class, you have to be a world beater, and world beaters are people who have won trophies, and major trophies at that. People who have won European championships or domestic titles. So. I can agree with you that United does not have world-class players, because we have not won anything of that magnitude yet. But
Very poor.
the quality of the players you see at United now, I'm sure Ineos does understand that it is a bit difficult in this moment. That's why maybe they cannot really sack the manager, because they know exactly what they bought. They bought Joshua Zagzi, but they know that this is a player who can give us maybe steady the ship, but in 2 years he will be quite.
Josh? Yeah, Rasta Sock says he's not motivating
Bought
players.
him.
He's just standing there. He's
What do you
just
mean
standing there.
motivating players? I mean, you see, we always talk
No,
about
Josh,
this
by
thing
that
of
I mean, rather by that,
we.
I think he means him getting involved with the players on the
No,
touchline,
no, no,
scream,
no, no,
give
no, no, no.
directions. Instead of just
Eric
standing,
Ten
you're
Hag.
conceding, you're
Eric
there,
Ten
your
Hag is
hands
a
are just
Dutchman.
folded. Yeah,
Erik Ten Hag is a Dutchman, and you can
you
remember
know,
another Dutchman who was at United. Louis van
you're
Gaal
going to say,
once
look,
told you
well,
that.
at some point he came, at some point
Yeah, but
after
Louis
things, you
van,
know,
no, he was
after,
remonstrating with the referee. He was not actually giving instructions, because for him, he believed that the players are well coached. Those you speak to them in the tunnel, and there's no need for you to shout instructions on the touchline, because much of the
no,
time
just sometimes it's
these players do
motivating.
not. Much of the
Sometimes
time,
it's
these players.
motivating to see your manager get involved.
Come on,
You're standing
did
there.
you?
No, for
Okay,
real. Are you trying
can
to
I
say you don't
ask
like
you?
Ateta's? Are you trying to say you don't like Ateta's
Can I ask
attitude?
you
You
something?
don't
I
like
do not.
Ancelotti's
I do.
attitude? You don't like
See,
Pep's attitude?
that is their
Or is it Enzo
character, and
Maresca?
that is
I
their
mean, look at all
character,
the
and
good
whether
managers,
or not
man.
that is
Ferguson,
their
case study.
character, that is their character, and whether or not they like, whether or not I like what they do on the touchline, does not um, in any way suggest that I don't like what Ten Hag does on the touchline. But the players that we do have, you must understand that they are the type of players who cannot self-motivate. Okay, Bruno Fernandes is off form right now, but Bruno Fernandes will run through thick and thin. He will run past players to just go and defend a ball. You know, no, he doesn't need to be motivated. So for me, if you tell me that a pro needs to be motivated by his manager to play football, then you have the wrong players at the club. Okay, you tell me, did Ferguson ever have to motivate Roy Keane?
Oh, Josh, that man was
Did
always on the. He
or
almost fought
did he?
players while he was
Okay,
on the touchline.
okay, choose
He
any
was
player.
always involved. He was always
No,
involved.
he was not.
Josh,
No, he was not.
every time they made a mistake, he could jump off the bench. He almost,
No,
come
he
on, that
was
guy
not.
was fantastic.
No, he was not.
That
He would actually be involved to show the referee that time is up, or to
Sinan
show
says
it to
Ineos,
to signal to his players.
Sinan says Ineos is trying to revive the club in all departments, and a world-class player will
Now
come after. Well,
Sinan understands me. Sinan
no,
understands
no,
me.
no, no. Are you trying to say Sinan is okay with Man United? By the way, if Man
I am not
United
okay
finishes
with
out of the top four, if they do
if
not get Champions League this
if
season,
if
it's going to cost the club 50 million euros, Josh. Rather
yeah,
pounds.
but
50 million pounds.
yeah, but let me tell you one thing. You cannot wake up in the morning and have United play the way you want them to play with the type of players that you have at the club. I mean, it's going to take some time. Like I told you sometime that we need to build a foundation on which to make marquee signings. We cannot make Ineos cannot make marquee signings right now, because that is a thing that we've tried at United, and it didn't really work out. We bought all sorts of players to come in and steady the ship, but one after the other, they failed to do the job that we thought they would do at Manchester United, because of all the chaos that was there. So let us get rid of the chaos, and maybe in one way or another, Erik Ten Hag can do his part, and when the time comes and the curtains close, someone else will come and take over. But I do not want Ineos to make hasty decisions for the purpose of making the media feel comfortable, and some irate fans.
And by the way, speaking about the media, why is the media against Ten Hag? Yo,
Yeah,
it's like they
because
have something against. I mean, to be honest,
they
I am
do,
Ten
they
Hag
do,
out. I am
they
Ten Hag
do,
out,
they
but
do. They
the
do
media
have an
is really
agenda.
pushing it.
Believe you me, they do have an agenda to kick out this manager. They never ever liked this manager. I mean, I remember a guy on.
I agree. He's soft and weak.
No, he's actually I don't agree with that, because the man is very resolute. I mean, the things that he has had to go through at Manchester United for the little time that he has gone through are too much. You can say that even his coaching style had to change, because he's dealing with too many problems, and he's not spending as much time on the ground, because there are many problems elsewhere that he has to put fires out. But for me, I think the media does have an agenda against him, and the agenda started
Josh,
actually
that
when
could
he
be
just
true.
walked in.
Maybe the media has
When
an
he just
agenda
walked in,
against Ten Hag, but
no,
he's been
first
poor.
listen. When he
He's
just
been
walked
very
in
poor.
through the door, when he just
Let him
walked in
move,
through the
man. Let
door,
him go. Yeah.
when he just walked in through the door, I remember Simon Jordan of Talksport quickly said that he's in an oversized suit. He doesn't suit to be a manager of
That
Manchester
hurt very
United
many
because of the
that
size of
hurt
his
very many
suit.
Manchester United
Because of the
fans.
size of his suit, could you imagine
Well,
that
he was
disrespect?
right.
Then
Oversized
how
foot,
was he
rather
right?
suit.
How
Listen,
was
listen.
he right?
He was right.
Come
Oversized
on,
suit.
come on, that's
No
garbage.
ideas. The team
That's
performing
garbage. That's
poorly.
garbage.
I see
That's
Sinan
garbage.
saying Isaac Ferguson did what he did for Man United because okay, Ferguson did what he did for Man United, but football has changed. That's why you see even teams like Barcelona are struggling. Sinan, you're really I don't know whether you're texting with Josh, but
Yeah, so quickly after that, the media has
hmm,
always gone on about Erik Ten Hag, that look at the things that he tells us, but Erik Ten Hag, now you see that you say that Erik Ten Hag does not motivate his players. What better way for the players to give him a shitty performance that like they gave him on so many occasions last season, and he comes out there and it sticks out only the positives from the game. You do not tell
last
me that you
season
did not
I
see
could
the
give him a
negatives.
pat.
No, you do
I
not
could
tell
give
me
him a
that he
pat
does
on
not
the
see the
back
negatives. But
because of whatever was
he
happening.
does
Josh,
have
he had
to keep
almost the
motivating
entire
his
first
players for
11
the
out.
next game.
Now I'm saying last season maybe I could give him a pass because At one point, he had almost the whole entire season out. Just the first season, yeah, he performed so good. Finished third, got us UCL, won us Carabao. Last season, finished eighth, got us to Europa, and that was after winning the FA Cup final. But I mean, this is the worst season. In fact, I read somewhere that he broke his own record as the worst performance start of the season. Do you know that? He broke his own record for last season. I mean, it's going from bad, worse to worse now. He really needs to change. The substitutions need to change. Just hold up, hold up, hold
stop
up.
reading
No,
garbage media.
Judge, but it's the fact. The substitutions
Stop
need to
reading.
change. The substitutions need to change. He needs to
No.
get a starting lineup. He needs to get the right players, pick the right players to start every game. If he does that,
It will-
Josh,
all
I don't know,
will
maybe
come
it's
in
also
good
the
time.
coaching tactics. Maybe the coaching is
All-
also poor.
You see, what is funny is pundits sitting out there, wherever they sit on their high horses, and they want to give even failures like Tim Sherwood. They sit there in a studio and they start to give tips on how a football club should be coached. I mean, this guy relegated Aston Villa. I mean, this guy
Who are,
couldn't manage
who?
Spurs.
Sorry, who are you
Tim
talking about?
Sherwood.
Tim?
Tim
Tim.
Sherwood.
That one is a
Yeah,
hater. I
but
know him.
I mean, he's going to tell you all sorts of things about how to manage football. He's going to tell
He's a
you
hater.
all these. Yeah, he's going to tell you all these nice things about what must be done at Manchester United for
Tim,
the
Paul
game to
Mason,
change.
those are haters.
I am not saying that he does not have an opinion on football. I mean, he's a Premier League winner with a team no one would have expected to win, Blackburn. But I mean, how is it managing football from a studio better than the manager of Manchester United? The guy used to berate Jose Mourinho every chance he got, but guess what? When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his pal, was at Man United and doing shit, he never said a word about
I
Ole
think,
Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you know
yeah,
what
the
he
media
said?
and
Do you know
Ole
what
were
he said?
friendly.
Yes, so the media went to the Glazers. The media did
Or friends together.
everything not to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But
Yeah, they always went for the Glazers.
I like the
I think
brutal
it's because
honesty.
how the club was being managed or being run by
No,
then. I
no,
mean,
no,
now
no,
things
no,
look a
no,
little bit
no,
better in
no,
terms
no,
of
no, no,
managing outside, not
no,
on the
no, no,
pitch.
no, no, no. But I mean, you think, and yet after 7 games, okay, you want
Yo,
to
man, don't even.
evict. You want a
I've
manager to
given you
be
my
sacked.
reasons.
First,
Correct. I've
listen.
given you my reasons,
First,
Josh.
okay. First, listen. You want a manager to be sacked, but all the people who are talking about the manager to be sacked, these pundits, they're talking about how bad last season was. They're not talking about Man United now. They're talking about how bad last season was.
They are talking
So
about
everything.
United, then they are talking about
No, 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 no.
United now, Josh. It's horrible.
No, they're talking
No, no,
about
no.
last.
Josh,
Okay, it's
they are telling us how he has only won one game in 10 matches in the Europe, rather in Europe. They are telling us how he's
rubbish.
seated in the 14th.
Absolute
Listen, they are telling us
rubbish.
how he's seated in the
Absolute
14th
rubbish.
position in the Premier League with 8 points after seven league games. Josh, okay. They are telling us how players are not scoring, how players are failing to convert goals in the final third. Josh,
Can I tell
they
you
are telling
something?
us
Can
how
I
we
tell you?
cannot defend set pieces. They are
Okay,
telling
can
us
I tell you
how
something
our
else?
defending is poor. You said rather you watched the game against Aston Villa. Almost 7 players that Ten Hag recommended to join Man United were all on the bench. What does that tell you, Josh? It means he doesn't even trust the players, his own players that he recommended. If you have almost
That's your
7 players,
conclusion.
250
That's your
million pounds seated on the bench, you have to
That's your
bring in Johnny Evans
conclusion.
to be the man of the match. That was very poor, Josh. And I see Nelson also saying, I
But
think
Johnny Evans
United.
is a Manchester United player.
I know, Josh.
He's a
He
Manchester
is.
United player, and the
And it's
fact
sad
that
that
he
we have
came
to
and there
rely on
was
him. It is sad that we have to rely on
no.
him.
He's
It is sad that we
why
have to rely on
he is a
Ericsson.
Manchester
Yet we
United
have younger
player.
players that have been paid almost 50 million, 40 million plus to occupy his position, and they cannot
No, they
occupy
didn't.
his
We
position,
were
and he's performing
no,
better than them. It's a shame,
no.
Josh.
Football is a squad. I mean, games are played as
Josh,
it is a squad. And I agree
Do you
with
know? Do you know
Nelson. I
how it
mean,
would
it
be
makes
like
a lot of
with
sense.
Kylian Mbappe starting on the bench, or rather being on the bench and not starting?
So who is the Kylian Mbappe in Man United?
Unfortunately, no one. But I'm just saying, we bought players, 50 million
So,
pounds, 40 million pounds, Josh,
so
80 million pounds. That is for
it's
Anthony, and he's on the
okay.
bench. He doesn't start.
Let me just
Ahmad
say,
Diallo,
let
kid
me
from the
just
academies. Okay, not academy, came from, was it Atalanta? Starting over him.
let me just tell you. I mean, are you going to? That's just how the cookie crumbles. I mean, these players
And
are
Nelson,
bought
by
a
the
lot
way, is
of money.
saying, Nelson is saying, I think it makes a lot of news talking about Man United, and it's been, I mean, it's been for all managers, even rather after Fergie. Yeah, I know they
Yeah,
talk about
it
all
does.
managers that way, but it's
Only
awful,
Ole
man.
Gunnar
It's awful
Solskjaer
that Man
survived.
United.
However
It's
shit
awful,
he
Josh.
was, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would lose a game, and the pundits in studio would say that, you know, the Glazers, you know, the Glazers. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Sports Jazz, Josh and Isaac. We are looking at Man United. The board was today over six. I mean, the board meeting was today. Once again, guys, Sports Jazz, subscribe. The board meeting was today. Joe Glazer was there. Eric Berada. You had the sporting director Dan Ashworth. You had Will Cox was there.
Jeff
You had Joe.
Brailsford,
Yeah. Joe
Jason
Glazer was
Wilcox.
also in the building. The meeting was scheduled to happen with Ten Hag performing poorly or not, but in this
No.
case, no, Josh. Yes, it's a
Yes,
performance. It
yes, yes,
happens.
yes,
It was meant to
yes,
happen, but only that this
yes.
time it's happening when Man United is at its lowest. And we understand there was no
Yeah,
decision made. They
its
did talk
lowest.
about the performance, and if there's any of the reasons that would lead to the sacking of Ten Hag, Josh, it's because if they fail to feature in the Champions League next season, United has to pay 50 million euros, Josh, rather pounds. Why do I keep
If
saying euros?
so, what
If, and
guarantees
it's a
you?
big,
What guarantees
Josh,
you?
out of 10, what are the chances of United finishing in the top four and featuring in the Champions League next season?
I can
Honestly,
ask the same question. What guarantees you that if Gareth Southgate is brought in, or Thomas Tuchel, or your
forget about
favorite,
Southgate. Forget about
favorite,
Southgate. He's not
okay,
going to
whatever,
come. You know, that's the next
whomever,
topic. In fact,
whomever
we are
is
going to
your
talk about
favorite,
that as well
no,
again.
whomever is your favorite manager, what guarantees that if
We are
he
talking
has,
about Erik Ten Hag right now. He's the current manager. But
yes.
you're
So why
saying
are you
if
giving me
he's
the
fired,
ifs?
I'll give
This
you
is
the
not
if he's
May.
fired and someone else comes,
Yeah, what if he
their
doesn't qualify
managers,
for Champions League? Man United won't lose the 50 million.
of course, they will.
It will still lose the money. And what guarantees you that this new manager is going to do it?
Why are you okay with Erik Ten Hag staying, Josh? Man, I don't
Yeah,
understand it. Why are you okay with it?
because an
Even with
investment.
after the poor performances, Josh, investments
For me,
you know, he wouldn't stand. He
7
would not
games.
stand a chance at. He would not stand a chance at Real Madrid with this performance. He would not stand a chance at
But we are not Real Madrid.
Barcelona. He would not stand a chance at Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
He would
because
or Munich. He would not stand a chance.
the players at Munich, the players at Madrid, the players at Barcelona are not the players at Man United. The
Oh
quality
man,
that you have in those squads is nowhere near
you
the
just love
quality
this
of
guy.
players you have in Man United. But the question that you ask, why do I back him? Because a very huge investment was made. A very huge investment was made in Manchester United. They bought these type of players who they thought that would fit into a system that the manager is going to play. And if you quickly, after 7 games, um, abandon everything that you thought during the summer for a new manager, then it's going to be very difficult for you to progress, because the new manager can just say that he wants nothing to do with like 5 of the players that you bought. That means you're going to go 2 steps back to buy this to buy players for the same positions, you know. So for me, I wouldn't want that. I would rather the players fail to perform, and United continues to build and better their squad. each summer, other than just writing off players after 7 games, and you bring when you bring in a new manager, because that will cost much more money than the
Very
whatever
good
you're
from
talking
Sinan.
about.
Very, 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 very good from Sinan. Those players are being paid a lot of money, and we need results. We
And
need
it should not
results.
always be about Ten Hag.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Come on, let me finish. And it should not always be about a nag. That is also true. And if they're not performing, but again, if they're not
100%.
performing, who do we have to blame, Josh? If a school is
Who
not
do
performing, you go for the principal, regardless of
no?
the teachers. Yes, you go for the principal.
Yeah,
He's the one who recommends. So if the
yeah,
team is not
but
performing well,
there
Ten
are
Hag has to take the
extraordinary
fall.
circumstances. There are extraordinary circumstances where you might not even blame the principal, because I mean, if you're in a school where you're getting mediocre students, and that the top class students are going to a certain school, then you cannot berate that principal, because those are the players that you do have.
Yeah, by the way, I've been reading some stuff here. Man United legend Andy Cole was like worried about Bruno's form. With Bruno, I'm not. I know a lot of people don't like him and how he acts, but I like the guy because he never leaves a stone unturned. He always gives 100%, and I know he moans and screams a little bit more than others, but he only does that because it's for him as such much. No, it's for himself as much as his teammates. His form will come back, and this period right now is probably the only time he's ever been out of form throughout the entire, rather, yeah, throughout the entirety of his United career. So you can't really question him because this has been the only time. He will get there because he plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he shows that fire and determination. I also don't think it's fair for everyone that is bashing Bruno Fernandes, honestly speaking. Yes, he mourns a lot. He's been off form. But if you try to put up the numbers, goals and assists for Man United, I mean, ever as a Man United player, his stats are crazy. His stats are crazy. We see Ziad saying 6-hour meeting just to keep him.
My man
Clap.
Ziad.
Ziad, I'm here
Yeah.
trying to fight Josh. I'm here trying to fight Josh. He's
But
Ten
Ziad,
Hag
you
in,
see,
and
the 3 games happened. The 3 games happened, and
oh my
the
God,
man is
Sing,
still
come on. Look at Sing
come on,
saying sell
sing.
Bruno Lindelof in. No, 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 no. You shouldn't sell Bruno. He says I'm selling in January. No
You
more. We don't
cannot.
want.
You
We don't want
cannot.
him selling. We don't want him again. No, Sing.
But you
Bruno's
would keep
the stats Bruno
you would keep
Fernandez
Rashford.
has.
You would keep
By the way, no,
Rashford. You would keep Dallo. You would keep Eriksen. You would keep that whole squad. But you
and this
sell
is the only
Bruno.
time, as
I
Andy
mean,
Cole
that's
said, it's the only
no,
time he's
that
had
is
that form.
exactly, and still he's the best player.
Radcliffe got the threats from Josh to keep him.
No, 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 no,
But
no, no,
yo,
no. We
I
just
was really,
maybe understand each other.
I was wait. Oh, come on, man! I was really waiting to get the news. Ten Hag has been sacked. I swear
Why?
I was going to sleep
Why
a
would
happy night.
Ten
No, I
Hag
want
be
Ten Hag
sacked
sacked,
under?
Josh.
Why
I've
would Ten
told you
Hag be
because
sacked
Josh,
right
I've given
now?
you reasons. I've given you reasons. You want me to repeat them again? I can.
B-
You
Yeah,
have
but
Manchester United is a big
I've
club,
also given,
Josh.
I've
You
given
cannot
you
tell me
reasons.
after 7 league games you have
Yes,
rather after 7 league games you have only 8 points.
but
Josh, that is alarming.
what
It's
guarantees you that
alarming.
the new
You
man
cannot tell
in
me
the
you've
job,
ever since this season
what
started,
guarantees you
you've
that the new man in the job is not
ever
going to
since this
benefit
season
from
started, they've won only one match at Old Trafford. They've scored one goal at Old Trafford. That is the goal, Zaxi, the opening game against Fulham. Josh, it's not a fortress that we used to know anymore. Look at where we seated.
exactly,
Again, 14th
exactly. That's
position. Josh,
no,
goal
what
scoring, we're
guarantees you?
behind. And Ten
Okay,
Hag comes out boosting around
I've
that,
had
yeah,
you.
this is the fourth clean sheet. Come on, man. Give us a
Yeah,
break.
we have the best clean sheets in the league. We
Come
have
on,
more clean
Josh.
sheets. No one else has them.
A new left back. I told you, Josh, we need a new left back.
You told me.
We should have got
I've
one.
told you
Yeah,
that
we should.
Erik Ten Hag, since he came in, we've never had a left back.
Are you trying? Who signed Malaysia?
He signed Malasia. Then Malasia
Mm-hmm.
got injured, like any other player
Okay,
would get injured.
okay,
But
agreed,
you
agreed.
knew
And Luke
that
Shaw
we had Luke Shaw,
got
who was
injured too.
playing a center back. He was
Yeah,
playing
toilet
center
paper
back the
bones.
whole
He also got
season.
injured.
Yeah,
He
so
got
he got
injured.
injured. Yes.
Then, and you know, they both got injured before the end of the window. They should have
Yeah.
seen that. They should have gone for someone.
No,
And that
no, it
this,
doesn't
you know, in
work
the
like
same
that.
spirit, they
It does
let
not work like
Alvaro.
that.
What's his name? The kid that
Fernandez,
went to. He's in Portugal. I don't. Is he in Benfica? I
Benfica,
think he's in
Alvaro
Benfica. Yeah, he's in.
Fernandez, Alvaro
Yeah, he's in
Fernandez.
Benfica. He could have stayed, man. He could have stayed
Yeah, he
at
could
least
have
maybe
stayed,
until
but
January.
you should know that these decisions are not solely made by the manager. These are decisions that are made with backroom staff. I mean, the medical team must inform the manager about the progress of the health of players. Then from that, they will have to look at positions that they must need to bolster. And then you should know that also the budget of Manchester United in that transfer window was a bit narrow. So we had to bolster in
I
positions
don't think it was
that were
narrow,
very.
Josh.
No, it was. It was. You
No,
can
no,
see.
no, no. How much did
With
they sign Leniero
it
for?
was, and
How much did they sign
it
Ugati
was.
for?
First, listen. Before, let me
Delict
finish.
and Mazarawi. Okay, finish.
Yeah, it was narrow because the new boys in town, they intended for Manchester United not to spend over the top, because United was accused of spending over the top all the time. I mean, they just spent 80 million on buying Anthony, when the club itself could have given us the player for 40. They spent quite some money, about 53 for Fred, when they could have given us the player for about 20 million at the time. So
Yeah.
the new boys in town just wanted to spend wisely, and at the time they realized that Tyrell and Shaw will not start the season. It was too late, because only the only money we were left with to spend was to bring in Manuel Ugarte.
I see Ziad saying, to be fair, nothing has been said yet. Ineos very quiet. Either way, they haven't said, they haven't kept him. Yeah, they haven't kept him yet. I was telling Josh, if it clocks Sunday and there's nothing out of Ineos, there's no statement from Man United, official statement, bro. Bold is staying. I'm telling you. Bold.
Sunday
Singh
is too
says,
far. Just tomorrow, because even if they decided to fire him, they will have to go through the normal processes that they do go through, which is maybe inform the manager, talk to the manager, have a meeting with him, have a chat
there's
with him,
nothing to inform him. There's
let him
nothing to have a
say
chat with him.
his goodbyes to the
No,
backroom
why,
staff,
Josh?
and
Let him just fire
that's
him.
what is done. That is in civilized societies. That is what is
Well, we've
done.
seen Mourinho being fired before. Was it the second? I think the first time at Chelsea, he didn't even say nothing. We have Ziad saying, "Is Malasha ever gonna play?" Again, he's been out for so long. We'll probably sell him next season. I also agree. If he comes back, I mean, that is very. This is we are going. December is very soon. It's not far away. That will be 1.5 seasons him being injured and not playing. Players get
And
injured
that's on
just like
us.
Pedro of Man
That's on
City.
us. That's on us, because
Players get. Then we see.
we
Yeah,
really
Josh,
messed up
because we did.
that boys. We really messed up that boy's career, Manchester
How, Josh?
United. I
How
mean,
did
you
Man
cannot.
United mess up his career?
We did split the guy's knee 3 times, and we made mistakes. I mean, we made
Details, Josh.
mistakes in his
Details.
surgery. The details is he had a knee injury. He was operated on. He had a surgery. It is true, a
Mm.
surgery can go wrong, but it was corrected. He did another surgery on to correct the first surgery, and just before he was ready to come back on during his rehabilitation, he got messed up. Then he had to do a third surgery. So I mean, we killed the
Is
boy's
that
career in some way.
Is that when he moved to Netherlands? The third time he was
Yes,
getting the
yes. The
surgery?
third time he was like, I'm not taking it anymore. I mean, I know a surgery can go wrong. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I mean, if such a thing happens, then it's on you.
Well, Ziad said it's reported that Ratcliffe has seen enough and wants to sack Ten Hag. So Ten Hag, even if he doesn't, rather, even if he stays, doesn't have to support, he doesn't have the support of the most important person, Berada, and Dan Ashworth will have
Yeah,
to give in
I mean,
eventually. By the
Ziad,
way, I
Ziad,
understand Dan Ashworth and Berada are behind Ten Hag staying.
yeah,
That is why
because it's
Ratcliffe came out last time and said it's not up to him. It's up to, he mentioned those two gentlemen, the CEO and the sporting director.
that's the report Ziad just wrote here. I mean, that's a conclusion anyone can make from what Ratcliffe said. So, I mean, they're going to, because it is Man United, they're going to throw all sorts of things like that around. But I do agree with you, Ziad. I mean, Ratcliffe, from that statement, you would say that yeah, maybe he's had enough, but. I don't think that Omar Berada and Dan Ashworth will have done themselves justice to fire a guy 7 weeks, just 7 weeks after going through a rigorous process to bring in players for him to improve the side. I know they
Exactly. That's
might.
why they're keeping him.
Yeah, and it is a good decision. That is why I also back Erik Ten Hag to stay.
How is it a good decision for him to stay?
It
No, Josh, it's not a good decision. Come on, man.
He must
It's not a
stay.
good decision. No, 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 no. It's not a
It is
good
the best
decision.
decision for the club.
Singh says, Sinan, it's about refreshing. It's about refreshing all club, not just getting another manager. I agree. Some players also need to be. I don't know, man. We have players that shouldn't be at Old Trafford right now. If we sack him, they'll announce it officially. But if they are keeping him, they will tell the journalists. They will tell the journalists all very quiet now. I think he was saying they tell nothing to the journalists. Singh says fans don't understand
They
this.
were never going to sack him. They were never going to sack him before the FA game we played at Wembley.
Oh, Josh,
But
they were going to sack him.
then
They were
what
going
do you
to
mean
sack
they
him. That
were? Why didn't
Josh,
they? Why didn't they?
why were they looking for a possible
One
candidate?
of your journalist
Why were
friends,
they
one
looking for a possible candidate during the what? The transfer window
can
before
I
the season
answer?
started.
Can I answer?
It's because they wanted him out, but they had no person to replace him, Josh. They wanted him
How
out, even after
how
winning the FA.
stupid how stupid can that assessment be of them? Yeah, how stupid can that assessment be of them? Because these are football people. They know it, almost everything about the managers who are available. So for me, I would say that it would be very stupid of them to go out there and look for a manager when they know they will not get one. As in, they were just making they it was a review that they made, and they were looking around to get the best person for the job, and they
Why
realized
were
that
they
the
looking
best
around? It's because they Josh,
no
you're
it
going to say your word.
they
Don't
had
say it. Don't say it.
the be-
No, don't say it. I know what you're going to say. Don't say, you're going to say, and they realize they already had the best man at the job.
yeah,
Do not say that. No, no.
exactly. They
Then they
had the best
realized
manager
there
at the
was no one
club.
to replace him.
No, they realized they had the best manager at the club, so there was no need for them to go out there and get a new manager.
Uh,
And that is why
see,
they came back and they humbled themselves. They extended his contract and they backed him all the way. And for me, 7 games is just not enough for you to sack a manager. I mean, if you're telling me that 15 games into the season, there's nothing to show for this manager, and we need to pick ourselves up, maybe I would listen to you. But 7 games into the season, you sack a manager. We are not West Ham. We're not like Wolves or Aston Villa or clubs like that. I
we are
mean,
Man United. That shouldn't happen.
yes,
That
no,
shouldn't happen. Singh
we are.
says,
No, you know why I mentioned those clubs? Because those clubs are, in some ways, they're even better than Man United at the moment. That is in the structures that they do have. And Man United, we don't really have that, and we are just starting to have that. So why break that? You know,
Josh,
the disease that we've had as a football club over the years is uh, um, firing and hiring, firing and hiring, hiring and firing. So why continue the pattern? Why don't you let things slowly
Josh,
or
let's come to that.
gradually change?
Let's come to that, Josh. Singh says fans at Man United don't learn from media news. Ziad goes
I
on to
know they
say, sad how 14th is good enough for Man United nowadays. Please, I wish you should have CC, Josh. Should have CC,
Yeah, but
Josh. He's okay
Ziad,
with it.
Ziad, for me, positions are picked up in May, as in there's no picking positions in October, and I know that the 7 games that we've played, and we've improved. We've played better than we did play last season. I mean, they've been
What?
some yes, they've been some games that we've been battered, but it is not for a lack
Come
of
on, man.
effort because
How do you say we've played better than how we did last season? Yet I just
yeah,
told
we
you
did.
Ten
We
Hag
did.
has broken his own record. You know,
Yeah, that
last
such
season
is
he broke the
football.
record worst start of football, and now he has broke. And you're saying we've done better than last season? Come on, Josh.
Yeah, such
Singh
is
says media
football.
news get
Do,
Manchester
do
United
you
again.
remember? Do you remember that you've just known that the lowest United had? You've known that it was during Ten Hag season. Did you ever know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished with 9 points at this stage of the season? Ever? You had never ever heard of any news like that,
I
don't
don't
you?
know why you love Ten Hag.
Don't
I
you?
don't know why you keep making excuses for Ten Hag day in day out.
No, I'm
It
not. I'm
exhausts
not.
me. No, but Josh, he should go. He's not delivering. We've had enough. Yes, and he should stop flaunting us with the Europa.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah,
rather
yeah. Ziad,
Carabao? Then he
Ziad, I
flaunts us
agree with you.
FEA.
I agree with you. And for me going forward, what I can say is Erik Ten Hag must improve. Football is a result-oriented sport. I mean, we must do better. But I have this belief that we are going to do better. Why? Because this is what the manager does. This is what the manager knows. If he has a fit squad, as in he has
Man, you
never
guy,
no, this manager has never, apart from Man United last season when he didn't have
this
players,
guy,
he has never been a poor manager in his career.
this
As in, for
guy.
crying out loud, he has won
Yes,
8 trophies in 6 seasons.
with what? With Man United?
No, wherever he has been
I know, I
coaching football
understand.
for quite a while.
And I'm
So
telling you, he should stop bragging about winning as a Carabao and the FA
what I'm
Cup.
saying,
Let him
what
brag
I'm,
after winning the Europa. Let him brag
I
after
thought,
winning us
I
Champions
thought,
League.
I
That's if we
thought you were
qualify.
about
Or the
facts.
Premier League.
I thought you were about facts. Because if
Yeah, of
Omar
course, I am all
Berada
about
comes
facts.
out and tells you that United, they hope that United will win a trophy in 2028, then why are you in a rush to fire a manager?
Josh, well, I'm in a rush because I don't want to be out of the top four. Oh, no, wait, top 10.
You don't
Top
want
10.
to
Do you know
back
how
the wrong
ridiculous
train.
that sounds? Yeah,
Of
Ziad was saying we've won 3 games out of 10. Remember, yeah, FC20 Porto, 2 poor draws, and the Carabao game against Barnsley is a win. The
I
Athletic
agree with
said they interviewed Marco Silva before the cup. Yeah, that was last season, the cup final. Man
Guess what?
United news
Ziad,
get
The
clicks. That is
Guardian,
true.
Ziad, the Guardian also said that they have the tea on what is going to happen to Ten Hag. Some Chelsea journalist, he said that whether Erik Ten Hag wins the FA Cup or he does not win, he is going to be fired. He's still at Manchester United. As in, some of them
Josh,
are writing headlines. Some of them are writing headlines and articles titled "This man has 9 lives."
I mean, look at this guy. Yeah, sing. Listen to this Ten Hag guy.
Believe you me.
Only way sacked the manager if we hire Ruud van Nistelrooy. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy and who and Haki. No, Josh, what's the name of that guy? By the I'm forgetting.
Yeah,
The one
Rene
who is
Hake.
believed to be,
Rene Hake.
yeah, Ren Haki. He's the one who's believed to be Ten Hag's number 2.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's a very good organizer. He's a very good
No,
organizer.
he's
He's
poor. He's
structured.
poor.
No,
He said
he is.
last time he does the coaching and everybody is poor. Ziad says if they sack Ten Hag, George needs to apologize for talking nonsense about why this fraud needs time. I agree.
Uh, No, no,
Madrid
no, no,
has
no.
seven
I can give
managers in
you
the last 10 years. Sacking managers isn't an issue. Excuse
exactly.
me.
It is
CC
not an
Chelsea.
issue.
CC
It is
Chelsea.
not an issue if you a club like Chelsea or a club like Real Madrid that will go and buy the top
You know, at the
quality
beginning of the
that there
season, they were
is.
talking about
I mean,
Chelsea, this,
Florentino
Chelsea, that.
Perez.
They're
Florentino
flying,
Perez
man.
is no Ed Woodward. Florentino Perez is no Richard Arnold. Florentino Perez is no Mato. As in, these are people who he is a guy who understands football in and out and understands the transfer business and the quality of players at Real Madrid. You have to sack a manager because the players are good enough. So if the manager is not producing the goods, then you have every right to sack a manager. But with the
Well,
players
then,
that we do have, you failed to mention a world-class player in Manchester United. That just
I
shows you,
asked you, Josh, how
yes,
poor
and
we
I
are.
couldn't. I couldn't.
And who
Yeah,
makes the
but those are the
signings?
players
Who
that
makes
we
the
have.
recommendations, especially this season? Ten Hag is guilty, is charged. I mean, yes, the other guys are guilty, but Ten Hag also, he has a hand in it. Only way to sack a manager is if they find Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ziad also goes on to say we don't give managers 600 millions for FA Cup. We want bigger trophies. This guy isn't capable of competing for UCL. His European record is horrible. One win in 10 games in Europa, and Onana saved a penalty. I told him that, Josh, Ziad, before you joined. I told him that Barca have had loads of managers too, and Valverde, Xavi, Stien, Flick, Coman in the last 5 years. That is very true. Glazer, not football people, last 13 years, 100%, by the way. I'm so happy that INEOS got a share, and you can see they're trying to revive the club earlier. Sinan said, was it earlier? Was it Sinan or Rasta Stokes who said it? They're trying to revive the club, the extension of Old Trafford. You can see they recruited new backroom staff for Ten Hag.
Agreed. Agreed.
Josh. Then they also brought
Agreed.
in,
Agreed.
Ashworth from Newcastle. They had to get Berada, Wilcox, and very many others. So Ineos has done a great job. They are backing the manager, buying players. But again, Ziad Singh, I want to pose this to you, Sinan, if you're listening too. Are you all confident that both Rasmus or Zaxi are able to give you 20 league goals? 20 league goals. Josh, are you confident? I'll first ask you, Josh. Josh? I don't think Josh
Well,
is on.
we did not buy 20 league goals. Listen,
Uh,
we did not buy
Josh,
20 league goals
you're
when
doing
we
this.
bought
Yes
Zaxi
or
and
no? Are you
Rasmus Højlund.
confident?
No, I am answering your question. I am answering your question. Yes, I am confident they can give those goals eventually.
Oh,
Eventually. That's what we
this
bought.
guy is
That's what we
joking.
have at the club, yo. Isaac. No, I ain't joking though. I mean, that's what we bought at the club, and that's what
No,
we have
Josh.
now. So we must understand that
I'm not going.
it
If
will take
Rasmus
us
gave us
quite some
16
time,
goals
but eventually we shall
last
get
season,
there.
all games, the Glazers have been making decisions at the club 13 years. Ask Josh if Ten Hag is capable of competing for UCL or Premier League. Josh, he's going to tell you yes. Josh, yet it's evident right now we are saying he's not competing. There's no way. I mean, Josh. Anyway, I don't think Ten Hag is capable of competing for
Yes, Erik Ten Hag.
any trophy right now. Yeah, Josh.
Why? Why?
Well, it's
Why? Why?
evident.
Why
Aren't you
don't you
seeing
think
what's
so?
happening?
Because Erik Ten Hag in his first
Aren't
season,
you seeing what's happening?
Erik Ten Hag finished third. He finished third in his first season. I mean, he had
In
just
his
come to the
second
league
season,
before all the problems came. He finished eighth, but you know the circumstances under which that happened, and
and now 7 games
we are
into
just
the
7 games into the season, but yeah, but
and
you
we are
have written him
14th
off. You think Man United will be
already. Of course,
relegated?
let him prove me
Yeah,
wrong. I'm happy to wait.
I don't really care about that. Do you know the position that we were in the first season?
Josh, I'm
But
going
we
to skip
finished
that.
third.
Ziad says we don't create enough chances, though we spent so much money and we don't have a system. Look at Brighton; they create chances for fun, and their squad is worse than ours. Arteta in Arteta's third season, they finished second. By the way, we in Ten Hag's season, third year, and we might not even make top 10. I rather finish top 10. I
That
agree
is
with
not
you. By the way,
true. That is not true.
Josh,
That is not true. They
man,
finished sixth.
you really have confidence. No, he said in his third season.
No, please check it out. Yeah, they finished sixth or fifth.
The first season they finished eighth.
Yeah, second, eighth. Then there was a fifth or sixth.
In the fourth
Because if
season,
you
that's when
say
they
in his
started
third
turning
season
things
he
around.
finished second, that would, yes, that means he would have been second 3 times, which is impossible.
Let me check. What season was that, Josh? Because it says it was that. What season was that? Was it the COVID season?
No, I
2020
don't
to
know, but
21,
I don't know. But
21,
what I know, he
22,
finished
22,
eighth,
23,
sixth, fifth.
2021, 22 EPL. EPL season. Let me see. Table. Let's check that out, Josh. Oh, come on, man. What's this?
Yeah, please do, because he was sixth or fifth,
No, Josh. I think he
and
was third.
he kept
No,
getting
no, no, no,
worse
no, no,
until
no,
he
no,
got better.
no, no, no.
No,
Let me
no,
see.
sure.
No, no,
Third,
no.
he could not have
Let me
been.
check. Oh, 2023 Arsenal finished
How can he
second,
be
Josh.
third?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ten Hag joined this season when United finished.
His third season, he finished fifth, 21, 22.
21 finished eighth. 21, 22 finished sixth. Okay. 22,
Yes,
23 finished second. Then last
yes,
season, again finished second.
second.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he's right.
Yes.
He's right. He's
So
right.
4 seasons
No,
it
no, no,
took
no,
him.
no, no, no. Ziad says 22, 23. I think that was his fourth.
22,
Actually,
22, 23 was not his third. That was his fourth.
he finished second, by the way, 22, 23. He finished second.
Yes, but that was his fourth season at the club.
He came in
The man
December,
is
Josh.
going
Oh,
in
by the
6
way, Josh.
years.
He's saying he does not count this because he
Mm.
joined in December. So that half season he doesn't
So
count
it
it.
doesn't.
He's right.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
I
here. He
also
has
don't
backed it. We
count
shouldn't
last
count
season.
that.
I also don't count last season because
Why?
Erik
Why?
Ten Hag
Why,
never
Josh?
had players.
Oh,
He
Josh,
never
come on,
had
man.
players. The whole squad
Ziad, are
was
you listening?
injured. It's fair
No,
enough.
Josh. At one point, Ateta
It
also didn't
is
have
fair.
players.
It is fair.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's
No,
not.
no, he
They
had.
haven't played together yet. Ahmad Diallo, Joshua Zaxi, and Rasmus needs. I think it's saying for them to play together. We haven't seen that, by the way, have we? We haven't seen that. His eighth. He came in December, Josh. That is correct. Then I don't think they will look scoring. I don't see Man United scoring goals. After everything that we've seen, the final third is really, really bad. Then we see Zach
Yeah, but look at
Rasmus
also the
Holland
players that
hasn't
we
played
do have.
together yet. Build up scores goals. Sorry, Josh.
Yeah, true, true. I agree with seeing. I agree with seeing 100%. I mean, these patterns must grow and the relationships must be formulated at the club. But I don't know where it is bad that the media can persuade a lot of things. They can persuade players. They can influence um,
Josh,
a bad. They can influence a type of attitude at the club that is very difficult to overcome, because if they berate players, like even when players do not perform and they start talking about imagine a guy like Mark Ogden, who is respected in certain circles, who and comes out and tweets that the worst players like Erik Ten Hag is being hung out to dry, because I we should find the person who scouted Zaxi and Rasmus for him. I mean, that could kill the confidence of the players if they are small mentality players, because these are young kids. They are not the Roy Keanes of the past. So it
Josh,
might
come
just
on. We
be.
don't care. I don't mean to be arrogant, but we don't care how much money were they paid.
Yeah,
Come on,
but
man.
if you
No, I
don't
do not.
care, it is
No, no, no,
unfortunate.
no, no, no,
It
no,
is
Josh.
unfortunate. It is
No,
unfortunate that you
I
don't care,
was
but
going
you're
to
going
do.
to
I was
remain
going
like
to care,
this.
but if you compare, if you say this is not the era back then of the Roy Kings. Come on, Josh. Mentality. If they don't have that mentality, then they're not supposed to be at Manchester United. Ziad says Josh will tell you Ten Hag is better than Klopp because Klopp won nothing in 4 years.
No,
uh,
Klopp did not win nothing in 4 years. Klopp was winning and European trophies. He won the Europa. He won a Champions League
Super
in
Cup.
there. Even before he won a Super Cup, before he even won a Premier League title. So I mean, the things that, you know, all environments are different. The thing that you have refused to accept is that Manchester United is neither Liverpool, Chelsea, nor Arsenal, because our problems are different. Our problems have been systematic for a very long time. So we had to find a way to overcome these problems, and it took someone to have shares in the club for that to change. It would never have changed in the times that the Ed Wood were running the club, or if such a drastic decision was not made. So I mean, when things are just trying to be organized, I would want the next manager who comes in after Erik Ten Hag to find a soft landing. Maybe he will be the one who wins the trophy, and you say Erik Ten Hag was shit, but let him be shit after he prepares United for that soft landing of any other manager.
Josh, man, you ain't making excuses for that guy. Ziad
why
says
why you keep
no. Klopp
calling them
came in
excuses though?
2015.
Yeah,
Didn't win the trophy until 2019. That's what he's talking about,
sure,
Josh. Yep,
sure.
there you go.
Those are four
I need.
years. So you mean he won trophies in 3 years? The Europa,
I need. I think this is what Sinan was talking about last time. He was saying he would want to see Ahmad Diallo, Rasmus, Joshua Zakzi playing together. You know, he would love to
you
see
know that's
that.
that's that's a bit difficult, because there's not really much balance in the three of them starting up top, because neither
And
of them can play on the left hand side if Ahmad Diallo is playing on the right hand side. Neither Rasmus
uh,
nor Zagzi can play on the left hand side. So you need some balance. So that's why you have to have Marcus Rashford on that other wing.
Ziad goes on to say, Josh, where does Ten Hag rank in terms of best managers in the league?
For me,
Josh,
best
let's see.
managers. For me, the best managers in the league are the managers who win things, and that is
Where
one
does he
manager,
rank?
the one
Where does he rank,
who wins a
Josh?
trophy.
Okay, where does he rank? One, two, three, second, fourth, 10th. We're waiting. There are 18 managers in EPL. Where does he
No,
rank?
they're 20.
Oh, sorry, 20. Yeah, by the way, my bad. 20.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where does he
Yeah,
rank?
they're 20. He ranks 14th because that's the position that he has in the
Very
league.
good. Very good.
Yeah, that's the
Ziad,
position that
for
he has in
once,
the
he has
league.
been honest.
No,
For
but
once, Josh, you've been honest.
that does not tell you that play managers like Anslot are better than Erik Ten Hag by any stretch, because they are not.
Oh, Josh, right now, don't even put
Yeah,
them in the same
yeah. You
bracket.
see,
This
you see,
season,
you have
this
you
season,
have
do
to
not.
you see you have to add the word right now for it to make sense. Otherwise, you would just be you would just be saying certain things to please yourself.
Singh says now we're looking sort out environment players, managers. Then also, I do believe ownership is looking sorting the environment culture now. Well, I hope they do that and
True,
very, very
true,
fast.
true.
Uh, Now, pound for pound, we are the worst team in the league. All the team below us haven't spent 600 million pounds.
Where is this
I,
600 million coming from, Ziad? You know, when you
Don't you
look
know
at
how
the
much Josh we've
figures.
spent ever since?
No, first listen. When you look at the figures that Sky Sports gives you, you're going to be misled, because when Sky Sports is talking about how much money United has spent, they're going to compound even the money that United has not paid yet into that 600 million. But when they're talking about the outgoings and they're talking about the players that we have sold, okay, they will not talk
Mhm.
about the add-ons to make
You
the
mean the
money that
net?
we've. Yes, it is nowhere near 600 million, but for good conversation, it has to be, because I mean, Erik Ten Hag was given a lot of money. At sometimes when I hear people like Tim Sherwood talking, I believe, I hope that one day, I don't know in what universe, that he's given the job at United and is given a
Yo,
check,
I,
because
I, I
he'll be
wish
the
Ten Hag
fastest manager to be sacked.
I wish Ten Hag
He
knows
might
who
be
you are,
sacked.
man. I'm telling
He,
you,
he
he
might
would
be
have given
sacked
you
on
a
his
check.
press conference.
He'd have given you a check. I'm telling you, man. You're putting up a fight for him.
No, I'm not putting
You're
up a
putting up.
fight. I'm just trying to be reasonable. I mean, I'm trying to
Josh, come
make
closer to
sense
your
of.
mic, please. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to make sense of. I'm trying to make sense of the things that I see, and
Well, Singh said sports not 600. Ziad says 573 million pounds to be exact, not including add-ons. Then Josh. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in Sports Jazz.
yeah, that's much
Yeah,
better.
let
I
us know.
mean, it looks much better, but when you
Josh, what's the
round off,
difference?
then it
What's the
means
difference?
one is the truth and one is a lie.
Oh, Josh. Okay, approximately 600 million pounds. I'll say that. I'll say that. Anyway, Josh, let's go into the final one, guys. Please, I would love to know uh, your suggestions. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Sports Jazz, Isaac and Josh. We are looking at the managerial crisis at Manchester United. The board sat today. It looks like Ten Hag is staying. No statement has been put out. We're still
He
waiting
could
for
still he
tomorrow.
could
Who
still
knows?
go.
Something is going to
He could
come out.
still go, because I mean, even if they agreed to sack the manager who is on holiday, they will have to wait for the manager and formally tell him the news that
Josh,
came
let's
from
come
the
to that.
meeting.
Yeah, okay, let's come to that. Thank you, guys. Thank you once again. Sports Just subscribe, like, and share our videos. Turn on the notification button. Yeah, and we're saying the board sat today, 6 hours. Nothing was communicated to Man United fans. We are all in suspense. I am in suspense. I thought I was going to receive the best news so far from Manchester United today, with Erik Ten Hag being sacked. And rather unfortunately, that doesn't look like it. And we go into our final segment. Josh, we talked about this yesterday, and I'm putting it again right now up to you. Please, no excuses, because we see things are moving up so fast. Anything could happen in the next 48 hours. He will stay or he might not stay. Potential candidates to replace Erik Ten Hag. But before we go into that, I see uh Ziad was saying 27 million pounds. That's the
Is the
difference. That's
difference?
what I was
Yeah,
saying, Ziad. Josh, please come to your mic. That's what I was saying.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we
yeah.
say
Is the difference?
approximately is much better. No decision made yet. They sucked. He says they sacked Van Gaal on holiday, bro. Not even on holiday, right there, celebrating in the locker room.
That's the FA Cup. They fired him after the FA Cup. Fine.
Yeah. We might not getting that. We might not get the decision until end of the week. Even if they do keep him, we've been suffering for 2 years. What more month will it? Rather, will it be worth the wait? I don't think, man, it's worth the wait anymore. Anyway, Josh, your top three
Yo,
candidates for the
for a
job.
guy who endured, for a guy
Your
who
top three
endured,
candidates, Josh.
for
Yeah,
a
okay,
guy
you're
who
talking about
endured a
Ziad.
spell. No,
Yeah.
for a guy who endured a spell against, sorry, for a spell of watching Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, I don't know how bad it can get.
Okay,
So
Josh, give me your
me,
top three.
top three,
Mm-hmm.
top three who?
Managers, candidates to replace Erik Ten Hag. Come on, man.
Why are they replacing Erik Ten Hag?
Josh, I'm saying, I mean, potential candidates. Come on, man. Yo, Ziad, give me
No,
yours.
Yeah, maybe
Just give
Ziyad,
me a
maybe Ziyad has someone to replace Ten Hag.
well.
Yeah, I agree with Lucky too. I mean, that would be even me, the only person I can tell you that might be in pole position to be to manage United would be Ruud van Nistelrooy, because he's part of the rebuild. He's part of the structure that has allowed these players to come in, much as Erik Ten Hag is the one who hired him for the job, but he would be an ideal candidate to take over, because he kind of shares a lot of common things with Erik Ten Hag, plus he's Dutch too, so he knows he has a good football brain, and he can accept to use players like Joshua Zagzi. He can accept to use players like Eriksen in midfield over Manuel Ugarte until Manuel Ugarte is ready. So he can make very bold decisions that an ordinary fan would not think would the wisest decisions, especially if you're losing football games. So for me, Ruud van Nistelrooy would be the only candidate that I think of, but that doesn't guarantee that because he's there, he can finish top four, because Erik Ten Hag is going to finish top four anyway.
well. The Dutch boys, the Dutch boys are eating up their own. Back in Netherlands, we see Van Basten said, "How on earth did Erik Ten Hag decide to spend 50 million euros on Ugarte? It's bizarre." But you only watch 2 games of him so far, though. Just that's what I was saying. You pay all that money for a player to sit on the bench. Van Basten
Yeah,
goes on
he's
to
not
say,
ready.
yes.
He's not ready.
He goes on to say that, come on, man. He goes on to say, yes, and I only needed those 2 games to see that he's not even worth 25% of that amount. Ouch. Van Basten, the big clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Arsenal, they all sign the better players. While Ten Hag comes with second class signings who haven't improved his team. Where's the lie,
Yeah.
Josh?
No, there's no lie, but the lie is him writing off Manuel Ugarte, because Manuel Ugarte is arguably the best defensive midfielder of his age group in the whole of Europe, and this is statistically correct. I mean, it is factual that he was sought after by every top football club in Europe while he was at Sporting Lisbon. I mean, he might have struggled while at PSG, and the change of manager might not have helped the situation, because the manager wanted to go another direction. But it does not mean that the player is garbage, because Manuel Ugarte is not rubbish. I mean, for you, you continue to ask for him to start games, but for me, I do understand, because I've seen it so often with so many managers, where a player comes in and the player is slowly integrated into the team. You even forget that Manuel Ugarte does not speak a word of English. I mean, it is difficult for him to even acclimatize to a situation. There are players like Joshua Zakzi that it came easy for, because Joshua Zakzi already speaks some English and stuff like that. But until last weekend, he was still not living in a place of his own. He had not yet found a place where to stay. I mean, these are things that psychologically can affect the performance of a player. But for me, I know Manuel Ugarte will get up to speed. He will learn the routines and the patterns of the team through the training
When?
sessions, and he will be ready
When?
when he's ready. When he's ready, me, I'm not under any pressure for him to be ready. I mean, you're talking about Manuel Ugarte and you're talking about 50 million, but Jack Grealish went to Man City for 100 million pounds and he scored 6 goals. I mean, I didn't see the media, I didn't see Van Basten come out and write an article about how Jack Grealish cost 100 million pounds. So, I mean, it's just that this time it's a Man United player, so he has to be the worst of the pile.
Well, that was it for today, guys. Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure. Josh, you say Your potential candidates, you would have Ruud van Nistelrooy. That was the same thing that
Lucky
Lucky
Singh.
Singh
Yeah.
said. I for one, Van Nistelrooy. No, I don't think I would love him at Man United. If Ten Hag goes, he packs too. I would have the Sporting Lisbon manager.
Amorim.
Yep, I would have that. I would have him any day.
Well, me, by the way, I can tell you
The
one
former
thing. I
Bayern
will
manager.
back any manager.
Those are the managers, Josh, that I would have at Man United. I don't know about
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like the both of them. I like the both of them. I think
Nego,
they are
what's his name?
decent, but
Negos. His name.
Nagelsmann.
Yeah, Nagelsmann.
Yeah,
I would
but
love him. I would take him any day.
Manchester United is another whole animal. So I mean, it is not that easy as you would think. But for me, I am ready to support the decision of INEOS. I do believe that INEOS has the best interests of Man United, and whatever decisions they will come up with, I will support it unless Gareth Southgate or Gary Neville walking through that door.
Well, thank you once again for tuning in, Sports Jazz, Josh and Isaac. We were live. Thank you, Ziad, so much, brother. I appreciate you big time, by the way. Lucky, please subscribe, join the family every time we're streaming. Come along, let's chat, suggest anything, let's discuss. And if we have a watch along and you want to tag in for Man United, let us know. You can always see, rather come soon, brother. Anytime we put up a watch along and you're interested, maybe at halftime, just to give your comment, rather your uh, your analysis, or even after halftime, you're always welcome. Shout outs to you. I don't know where Nick is. Nick is very, very rare. I don't know whether it's the time zone. Shout outs to you,
Yeah.
Sinan, as always. Shout outs to you, Rasta Stock. Shout outs to you, DUC Films, Nelson, everyone that has been in the comment section. Shout outs to you all. Sports Jazz, keep it locked. See you very soon. Subscribe, guys. Do not forget. Subscribe. Cheers. And yeah, glory, glory, Man United. Ten Hag out.
Glory, glory, Man United.
Yeah,
Erik Ten
Josh.